Hello, welcome back to my channel. And then in this video, we were talking about electrical equipment related to power lines and also some parts that related to automations. Actually, this video is intended for mechanical engineers that really have deep interest on what electricals doing in their life or professional life. So basically this video for mechanical engineer that really has an interest for electrical things. So let's start with cable. Okay, I believe mechanical engineers they in their daily life they can see a lot of cables, but to be sure that cable is not simple as it is. As you can see in the video, this is a single core cables that black colors, and it has a lettering on it. So I would like to explain a very simple of letterings of this cable. Okay, let's start from this. Okay, as you can see here is CU PVC, so many coprons, and the insulation is PVC, and you can see also 0.75 millimeter square. It means the area of the cable surface here is 0.5 millimeters square. So you have to download or to find the cables standards. Usually in Europe they use this kind of wordings 0.75 millimeter square, and in US usually they use AWG, Americans wire gauge, to showing that how big the cable itself. And then the cable also has a rating, usually amperes, how much ampere that actually cable can carry. If above the design point, cable will be burned out, and usually there is a standard Europe norm or American standard or your local country standard that advise cable size. Back to the cable, as you can see on the screen, there is also another wording 300s and 500, so it V. So this is the voltage that cable designed for, and in the bracket you can see NYAF. This is standards of cable insulations and related to its design. Usually this is no Europe norm, but you can download on internet what the meaning of these things. Yeah. So when you're sizing your system, uh, you have to deal with standard. But at least now you can understand that cable is not simple as it is. And then you have written down the made in Indonesia. So this is the cable. So we start from the cable. After the cables, I believe you also see something like this. Yeah, this is also cable, but you have blue colors here. It calls a cable spoon. So after you cut the cable, then you you press with the spoon, and then you maybe connect it to other devices or to other junction, etc. And these spoon cables, it has many types, many size, and then the diameters here related to the cable size that's already mentioned before. Okay, after cables, maybe you you want to see what we call, this is we call it terminal block, this from PVC, and this cable that already joins the spoon, you actually can able to connect this cable spoon. Usually there is this terminal block. It has a size usually, as you can see on the screen. You can see 2.5 millimeter square, so it actually it can be used up to 2.5 millimeter square cable. So you usually join here, join, and then you screw this to tighten it. Okay, so after that, maybe you also has interest on other things like this one. This one we call it as a cable's gland. So actually, let's say for example you have a cable like this, join there, and you want to make tighten, and you just turn this, but unfortunately this cable gland is too big for this cable size. And then cable gland also has a size standard, so you have to download the catalog of the cable. And the construction is really simple, as you can see here. This is things that to press the cable, so the cable will be stopped, yeah, and not easy loose, yeah. Usually this is connected to the panels. You make a hole and then you press the cable so the cable will not move. After that, also we have what we call as jumper. This is coupon made by coupon and laminated by, I think, by chrome, yeah. And this jumper usually connected to what I have shown you, terminal block. So let's say for example you have a terminal block like this, yeah, and then you join the terminal block, and then after that you need a jumper to connect this one and this ones that may be common to you. And rather than manipulating the wiring, but you only need terminal blocks like this, and jumper like this. And this jumper can be actually cut based on your needs. For example, I cut these jumpers, become two. Usually you need a cutter, to do this. Okay, it's a bit hard. Usually you have tools to cut this. Okay, other things that you may need to know is this one. Yeah. This one usually you can find on the panel, top front. This is we call a pilot lamp. That's it connected to the power line. So when it light up, it means that power line actually available. So it also has a standards, as you can see here. um, 2 to 2D. So its diameter is 22 millimeters, and then also usually also a voltage then it carry DC or AC, etc. And the brand here is a Ford, made by Ford. And as you can see, there is also ampere that it can carry, and the light is from LED. The light bulb is from LED. LED. You can just open this, yeah. Can open like this, yeah. So it has a LED there, yeah, and it's made from PVC, and it has a screw there. So usually the wires will be go from here and out from here, and you tap into the power line. So when it light up, it means the power line is available. Okay, the other things you so want to know, we have here push buttons. I think this is just new, I think, yeah. So push buttons, I don't want to destroy this the cover, so I find that already opens. Okay, we have here, this also related to electrical equipment that you see installed on the panel, front side panels. So these push buttons, when you press like this, and it will touch the rear sides, and from the rear sides, as you can see here, it will react based on its design. In this case, NC, it means normally closed. Normally closed actually meaning that when you do some action, let's say physical action or other actions, the system will be closed. So mean the system will not open, or the systems will not connect it. So in this case, if I press this and this will not connect it. So it means if you have wire from here and another wire from here, if I push this, the current or voltage will be stopped. There is also another push buttons called as a NO, is normally open, is the opposite of NC. So normally open means if you do nothing to the system, for example press, okay, the system will be normally opens. Okay, normally open means the system will be not connected, but if you push, then the system will be connected. Maybe I have some example here, some of normally open. Let me check. Normally open, usually the push button is green colors. I think I don't have it. I only have, I have a lot of normally close one, NC. So sometimes mechanical engineers really hard to make a difference between normally closed and normally opens. Okay, in practical, to make it easier, normally closed meaning if you do nothing, the system will be connected. If you make some action, let's say physical action by pressing, by make it turn and etc., or by sending signal to the system, yeah, it will be disconnected. So the opposite of this normally closed is normally open. So as simple as that. Okay, other things that maybe you really want to see. Let's see what I have here. Okay, I have this one. They call it relay. Relay is very simple actually. Relay is mechanical things. Only this energized by electricals, then not so familiar with mechanical actually, but the working principle is mechanical. As you can see in here, we have a coil here, we have a coil here, and we have a leg. So relay, it has a standard as well. Let's say it has 3 legs, 4 legs. In this case, it has let's say 4 legs at the first row, and another 4 leg at the second row, and the third row it has also 4, and the last it has 2 legs only. Okay, the reason the last is only 2 legs because simple, because the powers here is positive, negative here is a powers to be used by the coil inside. So if you see there is a written the 24 feet 24 DC, so it means this coil is only able to receive 24 DC. Above it the coil will burn out. Okay, so in this examples 24. Okay, so your supply power 24 DC. Okay, and then there is a mechanical things here, this one and this one. So if you power on, then the electromagnetic field here will move this thing to here. Okay, if you power off, and then that these things will be move the original position. Okay, and then how about other slates? Yeah, there is a three row other leads. So these 3 other leads actually, this NC and this is NO, and this one, yeah, is a power you want to transmit. This one only for the coil. It has no relation to other things, just to energize the coil, and then the electromagnetic field will be transformed to mechanical energy, and it will move these things. And this legs here is the power in you want to connect it. Maybe you want to connect AC powers. Okay, if this move to here, these powers will be transferred to here. But if it moves to original state positions, yeah, these powers will be transferred to here. So this relay behave one NC, one NO. So it means if you make a physical reaction, let's say the push button, yeah, you power on the coil and it will move to here. and the power from here, if you have, will be transferred to here. And this relay, as you know, similar with the cable, it has also rating. For example, it has how much ampere that it actually can carry. In this case, it's written the coil 24 DC, and the ampere that it can carry usually written down there. And if you want to buy this relay, usually you have to put information about the coil. Let's say, for example, you want 24 DC coil or 220 VAC coil, and maybe you need also you also need to supply how many legs you want. Let's say 2 legs per row, and NC NO, 1 NC 1 NO, or maybe 3 NC 2 NC 2 NO. You just read the catalog. In this examples, this relay made by, I think this is by Schneider. Okay. The other things maybe you want to see, this is socket. Usually they talk it about socket, and this is socket is depend on the purpose, but for this appliance usually this socket is connected to the relay. I just explained previously. Yeah, actually you can connect like this. Just press, and then you have here wires. Maybe you want, but be careful about this. Be careful about these things, that you have to read carefully the manual, because it's not as it's shown. Usually you have to test based on the socket manual, this one power line, or other is NC and etc. So that's all for now. I will continue with other video.